And okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. It's Beth Weinstein here with my friend Brad Yates. Hey, Brad, how are you?
I'm excellent, Beth. How about you?
Good. So, Brad is back in California from traveling and off to Australia and all over the world once again very soon. But if you guys don't know Brad, I just call him the tapping expert because to me, he's like the most famous tapper there is on the planet. But if you don't know what EFT tapping is, Brad will tell you a little bit more. But it's really funny. I just was telling someone about Brad yesterday, and they're like, "What's tapping?" And I'm like, "Where have you been? How do you not know what that is?" And this is by the way, this was a therapist who said that to me. So, Brad, tell people like what is this tapping thing all about?
Yeah, still a lot of people don't know about it. And when people are first introduced to it, they go, I'm sorry, what? You're tapping on your face? And they think we're a little bit nuts, but we're not, actually. It's actually using acupuncture points that is a process that's been around for thousands of years.
Mm.
People say it's new age. It's like, no, it's really old age. The way we do it, where we incorporate maybe therapeutic language, is more modern. But for thousands of years in Chinese medicine, they've said there's this flow of energy through the body along these pathways called meridians. And when this energy is flowing naturally, we experience our natural state of health and well-being, physically and emotionally. And when it gets stuck, we don't feel so good, physically or emotionally. We get stressed out. We don't think as clearly, and then we don't make very good decisions. And our lives don't go as well as we'd like them to go. And we may not know how to cope with that, or the coping mechanisms we may have may not be exactly healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an all-natural, healthy way of dealing with stress, calming ourselves down, and allowing ourselves to get back into a really good place to think more clearly and make better decisions. And then we get to have what we want in life.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know if you saw my comment. So everybody, Brad is a guest in my True Path Entrepreneur Summit, which is going on right now. Actually, Brad, your interview airs tomorrow. I thought it was today, but there was a mix up. But that's great because everybody can now catch it. But so Brad and I did a demo, which you guys will have to watch. You can sign up for free. And he does a demo around tapping for abundance, or, I don't even know if it really was abundance, but I'm not making this up. I had like random bits of money come in all within like a week or two after we did the tapping. And it was literally, and of course I believe in all this stuff. It was literally like out of the blue, like a check in the mail that I forgot about, and a thing on eBay that sold for almost $2,000. And I was like, and it had been, I'm not joking, it had been on eBay for like 6 months. And I was like, wow, that tapping really works.
Well, and there's two ways of looking at that I look at with particularly around money and abundance is, if you adhere to the law of attraction, then we attract into our lives those things we're in positive vibrational harmony with. So when we're feeling better, we naturally attract better things to us. When we have negative beliefs around money or uncomfortable feelings around money, we're not in vibrational harmony with money coming in. So as we clear that out, we allow more in. We also, just from a place of stress, if we have these uncomfortable feelings around money, we will stop ourselves from doing things that we can do, even beyond any kind of metaphysical ideas about what we're manifesting into our lives. It's just a question of what are we doing? Are we taking those actions that bring money into our lives? And if not, what's blocking us? What are the barriers, the resistance, the fears of, well, if I made this phone call, it could go really well, and that would create a new deal, which would bring more money into my life, and then I'd be one of those greedy rich people that my parents always said were so awful, and I better not do that, so I'm not going to make that phone call. And it's brilliant. It's a brilliant way of protecting ourselves based on this idea that more money or whatever wouldn't be safe. So as we clear the fear, we create those opportunities.
Total self-sabotage, which I've declared like totally done with a long time ago. But of course, it still comes back, every few days.
Well, and as I think I said in the interview, self-sabotage is simply misguided self-love. It's there to protect us. So there's no need to beat ourselves up for it and go, oh, I'm so stupid for not making that call or this or that or eating that pint of ice cream or whatever it is that we've done. We are brilliantly trying to protect ourselves based on old, outdated information. We're using an old operating manual that we need to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to beat ourselves up for following the only manual that we had.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's great. And I love that you're teaching this. So now actually, speaking of abundance, I'm curious because I have a lot of people come to me asking for help. How do I turn this business into a virtual business? And I find it really interesting that so I heard about tapping for the first time, like a long, long time ago. And I found out about it through a therapist who, went over it with me. And then I've been to a lot of in-person events where there's people tapping. And so this is something I've only done in person.
Yeah.
And I find it really interesting that you've built this business, and I know you do a lot of in-person talks, but you're around the world. I just asked you about Australia. You have this huge following. You're going to be in New York, by the way. A lot of my friends are in New York, so go see him in New York in a month and a half or so. But how did you build this business? Like, I know you have this huge following on YouTube, Facebook, all over. Like, how did you do this? And can anybody do this kind of like, things that we think of as like real life, but online?
Hey, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's one of those things that, it's just crazy enough to work.
Mm.
When I started doing this, YouTube was pretty new. And I just had this idea of, well, it'd be cool if I made a video that would help people get a start on their day. And I'll call it Tap of the Morning. And that was all I ever intended to do. And I was just coming up with, okay, what's a general kind of tapping around that folks could do to start their day right?
Mm.
And just, rather than, when I'm working live with someone, I know what's going on for them and I can tailor the tapping around to what's, particular to them. But there are a lot of things that are, pretty universal. So I just started making videos that were relatively universal. And after several months after Tap of the Morning, I thought, I should do a Tap of the Evening. And then I had another idea. And now 10 years later, there's over 800 videos there. So
wow.
You come up with something, there's probably a tap for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, and you also have this diversity of like tapping for very specific, like I think actors and, getting through, like, I don't know, tests or something, right? Like you can use this for very specific things. Is that what you've done?
Yeah, certainly there are, many of them are on very specific things and for specific groups of people. I try to keep most of them pretty broad so they can benefit the largest number of people. And that's really how I just built it is, and the videos, the funny thing is the videos are never created as a business tool. It's simply, I have something that I think could help people. And trying to make a difference, but I think that the desire to make a difference is a huge component to having a successful business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about people, I just want to make a lot of money. You can do that, but it's not going to be as fulfilling.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of, things came around at the right time. YouTube showed up and I had something. Who would have thought that you could make a decent living tapping on your face?
That's what I want to show people. This is really so fascinating because, I have clients, clients that teach, like one teaches singing lessons, right? And it's mostly in person. And I'm like, well, these days with the internet, it's very easy. You could do both, in person's always maybe a little more, better in some way because it's so personalized. But, even people with very traditional roles like body work or, even acupuncturists, obviously you're not going to tell someone to stick needles in you. But, there's other like this, it's like you're doing something that's very holistic. And, I know online, personal trainers and, therapists that do a lot of body sensing work and it's, like exercises you can do. So I really, I want people to see that, these days, and it doesn't always have to be all virtual, like you do a lot of in-person talks, which is something, I really believe in. I think they're fun and people really get to see you and who you truly are when you're doing in-person workshops and talks. But, I love that you can mix this all up and then do a lot of this online work and really grow a business doing something, like you said, as simple and different at the time as tapping.
Yeah. And there are, I know of lots of singing coaches who have programs and videos and personal trainers, things that in the past traditionally have been, you work one-on-one in person. And, yeah, certainly there's going to be places where you can be more effective working with someone one-on-one, but there's so much value you can give in putting something out there, and then it allows people to find out about what you do, and then those people who want to take it to that next level to work with you one-on-one and get that kind of direct input. But so many different things, maybe any possible job you could have, there's some kind of value that you can offer in the marketplace and put yourself out there to make a difference.
So cool. Now tell people about your upcoming, I don't know what to call them, talks, workshops, are they big events, small events? Like, what is it you do and where are you going in the next few months?
Oh, it's a mix. So I leave in a week to go to Australia. I'll have 2 evening workshops, 2-hour evening workshops in Brisbane and then Sydney.
Wow.
But I'm also doing a 3 or 4-day workshop retreat with my friend Jesse Reimers in Byron Bay.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. And then, as you said, I'll be back in New York on December 4th, doing a workshop for actors called Fearless Acting. So my background is as an actor, so I've always loved working with actors, and it can be beneficial for virtually anybody, especially entrepreneurs, because actors are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But this one will be primarily focused on actors, and then looking at where I'm going to go next year.
Wow. Wow. And I assume the actor one is to help them get out of their head and more into their role and get over any kind of fears of auditioning. Is that what tapping helps with, like with an actor?
Yeah, there are professional blocks. There are creative blocks. There's a fear of, even a lot of actors still have stage fright and feel nervous getting on stage. And so to be able to clear that so that, they're an open channel for doing what they need to do.
Wow.
Then it can be a very powerful tool that way.
I love it. You said it right there. It's all about creating an open channel, right? That's the ultimate goal. That's all we need.
Beth, I have lost you. So
oh, no,
I don't even know if I'm still live here.
Well, it's showing that we're still live. Uh-oh. Well, in case anybody's watching, it seems that Brad's connection is lost, but that's okay. We were getting ready to wrap up anyways. I don't know. This BeLive TV is sometimes pretty janky with technology. Anyways, everybody, you can catch...
Well, in case anybody's watching, it seems that Brad's connection is lost.
Anyway.
That's okay. We're getting ready to wrap up anyways.
Be sure to join us on the
BeLive TV.
You're going to get a full demo.
I don't know if you can hear me. I can see you on
Brad. If you're like me, we'll help you manifest. I think I manifest around $5 grand that week after tapping with Brad. I mean, it's not the only reason why you should do it, of course. For like you said, creating an open channel and really, letting go of all the stress. Brad, are you back? No, he's not back yet. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And be sure to catch us on the True Path Entrepreneur. And I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye. Bye, Brad.